Hello everyone and welcome back to today's video. So today we are building a huge 4-story chateau that is based on a real life Chateau de Monte Cristo, which I couldn't name it that on the gallery because it had Christ in it probably, which I don't understand why that is a forbidden word on the Sims gallery, but it is on the gallery as Chateau de, Chateau Monte Cristo in one word, not two words, which is bizarre. Anyway, I saw this on Instagram and thought it would be a really epic build to do, especially as I did not build last week because nothing inspired me. So I was like, I saw this on my dash timeline, whatever it's called, I just wanted to build it because it was really detailed and I thought it'd be really fun. It's really fun shape as well. It's a bit unusual, and I thought we could just have a good time with it. It took forever to build because it's really detailed, and I did some of it off camera. I did the guest room off camera. I did the bathrooms off camera. I did the attic off camera, but there'll be screenshots at the end of the build to show it. So we are building up the structure. So it has 4 balconies at the bottom, 2 of which are entrances and exits. And then we have 2 on either side. One of them will be accessible, the other one is not accessible. And we put plants on there and try and make it look really fancy. And this is me trying to figure out the roof because it had some detailing of walls where the roofs were, and I was just like, this is not working because the roof over the pillars needed to be round, and I hate the fact that the round roofs do not sit in the center unless they're huge. And I realized that it actually had a massive like attic space. So this is when I actually properly start building the roof, and we are gonna do lots of, it's quite detailed for a roof section. We've got like these little bits that hide the main structure, and then we've got the turrets as well, and it all has to come together to make a little roof. And there's balconies up on the roof as well, which are accessible, I hope. And they have a railing and everything, so your Sims will not fall off and die, which I think should be a feature in the game. If you don't put railing on really high buildings, that they just can fall off and die, especially if they're clumsy, which would be quite funny. And we have some nice like extra bits that pop out on the sides, and I thought extending the roof all the way down to like match it was quite fun, gave us a little bit of interest as well. And then we're going to have the fake windows as well in the roof, and we're going to have a nice dome on the top because it had this really epic dome to match, I think probably the turrets themselves. So we're going to have that on top of the roof as well. I had to scale up one of the base game ones because I was like, there's definitely a roof dome. I couldn't for the life find of me. I was like, I get out the cats and dogs little thing, and then I was like, where is this thing? And we also have this really cool like roof detail, which is from base game as well, to add some extra little bits and pieces here and there just to make it look as realistic as possible. I forgot that this lot has strange lighting, so you can only see it properly when it's like in the evening, which is it's all right, but it does make every like one side completely dark, which is a little bit annoying. We use the Discover University railing or fence, whatever it's called, as our little trim because that matched perfectly with the creamy golden tones of this chateau, which is our colour scheme. And use the Discover University, what's it called? the trim as well, because that was quite thick, and it was quite interesting trying to get the right windows as well for this build, because the first floor is medium height walls, and then all the rest are just the normal lowest one we can do. So I was trying to find windows that matched and all different sizes, and then it had like longer ones where we've got this staircase, and we have bigger ones at the bottom because we want to get in as much light as possible. So I was trying to figure out what we can do, and then we've got stuff on an angle, so we had to try and find windows that fit for that as well. We got that eventually. I think it is quite a window heavy build, but that's what it's like in real life. And then I thought having a really colourful front door would look really nice on this build. So I went with the pink, which is kind of the themes that's going to go throughout this build, with like a touch of pinks and blues and yellows, and just like French country light summery colours that could work nicely in this house. And popping it up here just gives it a little bit of grandeur as well, with the sea, and we're on top of the hill, and you can go down to the beach, and I think it's just an epic location in Brundleton Bay for this house and build. And then we have some nice gravel all the way around, which I actually neatened up and just made the thing really huge so I could just like do it in one. But it's quite interesting, and I actually got to make my French kitchen with the ranges between two pillars and a massive hood. I was so happy. I was just like, as soon as I saw how big the kitchen was, I was just like, yes, I can finally make my massive kitchen cooking area. So this on this side is just the kitchen, a little powder room, and we're going to have a breakfast table in the other bay window as well. So we're going for, it's very light and white and traditional cabinets. I think these are just the base game ones, but we tie it in with some of the cottage living stuff for like the Argos and our little range hood as well. And I think it just looks like a very fancy kitchen. Obviously we needed the pots from there because they do look a little bit like Le Crusoe, so we had to have those in there. And obviously we needed a big prep wooden rustic table in the middle in the nice sandy colour, which is the same colour as the stone that we've got around the hearth, and that also is similar to the bricks that we've got outside as well. So we're just detailing up the kitchen, and it's a bit more white coloured than the rest of the house because I've used older lights in the rest of the house. In the kitchen I've used more modern lights. And then either side of the I was going to say fireplace, it's not a fireplace, it's a range. Either side of the range we're going to have the 4 height cupboards with some surfaces underneath, so there's so much storage or pretend storage in this kitchen, but it just frames it nicely. And then we've got this nice chandelier hanging old light where we're going to have our breakfast table, and we're going to bring in some of the pink that we have around this build. Like I've used the Strangerville arches that have the white and the pink, and we use the table from Paranormal that has the pink tablecloth with the cream legs, and some of the white and cream versions of the chairs, which I thought was really elegant but also not formal dining space breakfast table. So over on this side we have our formal dining, and we have our living room which has access to one of the balconies, and these all have archways through, and the living room itself has a closed door, so you can close it off because the kitchen, the back entrance to the kitchen and the dining room are in its own little separate cut off area, so there won't be as much noise as the main hallway. So we've got a bar in here. All the rooms are quite odd shaped, so that was quite interesting to do, but this room has more of the blue and the yellow. The paranormal stuff, it just came for me in this bag because it has blue and yellow furniture in like that classical but more modern style, and I was just like, "Mwah, please just give me more of this furniture." So we're going to use a lot of the love seat and the chair, the single armchairs as well, because they just fit so nicely in this build with the colors and everything. They've got our sunflowers and the blues as well in the crock pot, and we've got the cottage living side cabinet as well. I'm actually really sad that I didn't go with the blue and yellow fireplace in here, but it was a little bit over the top. So in our living room, we've got our fireplace, we've got a TV, we've got our really old bookshelves as well. So we're gonna have like a little reading nook in our bay window area, that we're gonna have like a main sitting area. And I was trying to find what sofas we could use, because I obviously wanted some classic like old French furniture to go in here, and the base game wasn't really doing it. But Discover University, just like, yes, it's got the pattern, it's got like the more classical like legs and everything, but it's just not over the top, and it fits with our paranormal stuff as well. So we've got the three-seater sofa, we've got the armchairs to match as well, and then we've got the same armchair as we have, well, the same two-seater sofa that we have in our dining room as our little nook. And then we've got the paranormal coffee table, which has the flowers on it, which I thought was a really nice detail. And then the vampire lamp, it came in the blue and the white, and I was just like, yes, because it's old but it looks more modern, and everything was just coming together with our older model. And we've got the white paranormal rug as well. Obviously we need to put in some plants, because that livens everything up, make it look a little bit more like it's lived in, and it's very summery, light and airy, and sort of Victorian-y as well in there. So in our main hallway we have two ways up to our grand entranceway, and we're using the patterned flooring, which I think is from Vampires, and then upstairs we've used like the muted one, which is from Paranormal again. So we've got like a little more subtle tone upstairs, but we've got like black furniture to contrast with the white that we've got going on, which I think is really elegant, with like pops of yellow and gold, which I think is really cool. And then on this floor we have two kids' bedrooms, a nursery and a study. The kids' bedrooms have a Jack and Jill bathroom, so they've got an old bath with the shower, they've got everything they need there. And then on the upstairs, the floor up from this is like the master suite. So we've got a big master bedroom with a walk-in wardrobe and their own ensuite, and we've got the exact same for the guest suite, which could also be like a grand-père, au pair type of thing in in where you're having the grandparents live in the same house, because there's so much space to like look after the kids. But this is our teen room, so it's very pink and light, and I actually keep this one white walled because I think we get enough colour in with the furniture and everything. So they've got that desk, they've got pink wardrobe, and we're going to put a little corner seat in there, and the bedrooms are quite big for kids, so it's definitely a fancy time in the Sims house. So we've got a few rugs, we've got a few bits and pieces, so this is kind of like, could be a teen, could be an older child, it's whoever wants to stay in this room. And obviously putting some posters up, we've got the pink sheer curtains, like the curtains that are on the four-poster. I thought it'd be quite fun to have the small four-poster bed, and then the adults to have like a proper four-poster bed upstairs, just to be like they want to copy it. And then in this kid's bedroom, so this is like a young kid, and they've got a bunk bed with their desk underneath, so I thought they would want to maximise the amount of space that they had to play and just have fun. And so that is what this room is all about. We're going for like blues and some of the more warmer wood tones, so we're going to have all different bits, lots of toys about as well, because this is a slightly younger child, so they have all their toys and everything, even though there is a full-on whole floor for the kids to play on as well. So we've got the two skill building things, we've got the craft table, we've got the thingy table, potion making table. I thought this rug was pretty epic to put in here because it's a rug that I always forget this colourway exists because it's in the bowling stuff and all the bowling colours before it, and I'm just like, always forget that this epic colourway is in there. It is such a cool rug and brings in like some darker colours, which I actually use to have the curtains. And then I can't remember if I changed the wallpaper in here. I think I did, but I cannot remember. And I'm just gonna put in some more detail. So they don't have a bookshelf in here, but they have the little book thing, so they can grab books if and when they need it. And I was just trying to find some other bits and pieces that we could put in here. Obviously some cool posters up on the wall as well, a little height chart, and we've got some more like childless pictures up by the bed. I actually remembered to put the defender light in as well, so the monster under the bed will not be coming to disturb your kids. Unless you want it to, then you can definitely remove it, but both rooms have the defender light. And then in here is just a nice elegant simple study area, office space. So we've got all the built-in bookshelves, we've got some freestanding ones. I thought I'd pop in a modern one just as like a little upgrade, and then we've got this big hefty desk at the end in the bay window, which would be pretty epic to look out of because of that view especially. And we've obviously got our little MacBook on there, our iMac, and a nice seat as well. And I thought having some seats in here so you can just sit, chill and read, just escape from the world, especially everything that's going on at the moment. My heart actually goes out to the people. I can't watch the news most of the time without having a cry. So everyone is probably like that at the moment as well, but it's so devastating. But we have at least The Sims and fun things to help us through everything. And then we have our nursery, which you could definitely redesign and develop into a kids toddler room later on. So I thought it'd be quite nice to have like some of the bits already there so you're prepared. And then we're going for a nice green and light fluffy feel in here. So in the bay window is where it's going to be like a play area. So we've got the toddler toys, we're going to have some cushions, and it's all like nice and soft and friendly, and your child will not kill themselves by doing anything drastic. And then I thought it'd be quite nice to have these little curtains up behind the bassinet just to make it a little feature instead of putting like a wall decoration or anything. We've got the rainbow shelves up, and we could just put a few bits and pieces and set dressing bits so it looks as though it's lived in. And then we're just going to put a chair in there, so it's like a reading chair, so you can just sit there and have some good times. And then upstairs we have our master bedroom. So the other master bedroom has like a dark feature wall, so I wanted that in this bedroom as well, but something a little bit more in keeping with the colours that I've decided to go for, which is orange and green, which is a very odd choice for me. But I thought it's an older home. They would have some sort of fun colours. Perhaps it's the taste of the Sims that live here. And so we're putting it in some things. And I was trying to find some wallpaper that matched this, and it was quite hard. I did in the end use some cottage living ones, which I actually haven't used before. It worked quite well. But none of the wooden baseboards matched the baseboard of the cottage living wallpaper. And it makes me so sad because I had to try and like fudge it together, and it really annoyed me because I love that. If they had just that baseboard with some green or some white wallpaper, it would look really nice, but we don't have anything to match, and I'm going to literally spend ages trying to find some baseboard that matches, and it's super annoying because it's either too light or too dark, and so I was like, I just have to settle with too dark, and I go with some black or grey looking baseboard wood trim, and I think it worked out because we've got a black fireplace around, so it kind of works. It's kind of dark enough, and I do quite like having the just one wall with the green. I think it ties in with the bed and the foliage as well, and then we've got some really fancy seating in here, which is pretty fun and epic as well. So we're gonna pop those in and start decorating up our room. I tried to find some rugs that had the orange in, which was a bit of a mission, but I did find one that had the orange in to go with our little seating area, and then we're gonna have one that is more green to go underneath the bed, which works quite nicely because it's square as well, so it squares off the area. Then we've got the vampire light again, but in the black and white version. This room turns into like really dark and moody, but I kind of like it. It's kind of more grown up sort of area that's a bit more, probably more how their actual taste is, and we can kind of see the other side that's got the dark paranormal wallpaper. And then in here we actually used the Get Famous wardrobes because I thought they were a little bit easier to work with than trying to make my own custom one, and it blocks off the window as well, so because we had an odd window on the side, which was a little bit of a pain. But we've got our wardrobe space, and then we're going to do a custom vanity here in the bay window area, which I think is quite cool. And you can see the bathroom that's got like an old roll top. It's also got a shower and everything in there. It's a super huge bathroom, and we go even lighter up on this floor for the hallway, so everything in it is white. So we've gone from like pink to black to white, and then we're going to go like proper rustic upstairs because we've got the cottage living flooring, and we have like an old roll top sofa and the foosball table, don't wait the llama. We've got a bathroom upstairs as well. So if you wanted more Sims, you could definitely renovate the upstairs. So it also had more bedrooms and everything. So outside for our landscaping, I thought the big pots with the flowers in were really cool to have out the front, and then these more traditional ones to go on the balconies themselves because they were a bit more like Regency-esque, a bit more opulent to go there. And then we've got the matching ones at the back as well, and then we put the big round ones from Get Together as well at the back here in the pink, which I think just fits in these little nooks that we can have. And then it'd be just quite nice to have a little seating area out the back here, and then we have some benches on the either side as well, just so we can sit out on the porch area, and then have a bin at the back. And then for the actual like foliage and stuff, we are going to have a little fence of foliage around the front in the circle with some lavender thrown in, and then we've just got a few trees around the back area because I thought the back would be a little bit more open and a bit more as though this is the grounds where the fence and everything is. So the front is a bit more closed off and private. We're using these big bushes, the long bushes, the tall bushes, the round bushes that are a bit more formal, and then doing some grass and the two different types of lavender as well, just to bring in some colour. And then we've got these like topiary hedges as well, just to add in some extra fun. But I think that having this little corridor of plants just frames the front of the house and sort of makes it less barren, but also gives us some extra space out the back so the kids can go off and run and play and stuff. And that is our house. So we'll jump into the screenshots and have a look at all the floors and the layout. So this is our top. And then we go down into our attic, which has all sorts of fun stuff and skill building bits and pieces that you can swap out. There's our master bedroom and guest bedroom. And then we have our kids' floor and study. And then we have our living spaces and entranceway. Which the entranceway I put a round table with a fancy flower in and some seats, because that is every big house ever. We've got our big chandelier as well. So there's our entranceway, the pink flowers. There's our living room through into the dining room as well, which is a pretty epic view. And then another angle as well. And then we've got our dining room, our formal dining room with all the blues and yellows, and hopefully they can get round to the table. It's a little bit of a squeeze, but anyway. And then we've got our breakfast table, and then we've got our kitchen with our range hood, and it's very light and big and spacious as well. There's our first floor landing area and our office space, our books and everything, and some plants as well, just to make it a little bit greener. Then this is our younger kids' bedroom, which is super fun and super light and bright as well. And then our older child's bedroom, teen bedroom, is very stylized and pink. And then we have our nursery. It's very calming and green, peaceful, and a nice, good space to play in as well. And then this is our guest bedroom. So it's very dark, a little bit more modern stuff as well in here. So you can definitely have it as a guest room or a grandparent room. Their walk-in wardrobe. And then our master bedroom, which has our nice patterned wallpaper, our little seating area so you can escape. And then we have our walk-in wardrobe, our master bathroom as well. All the bathrooms look pretty much like this. And then we have our attic space at the top, which has some fun details and all the decoration stuff up here as well, a Christmas tree, everything, some skill building stuff that you can swap out. So, and then we're going to the outside. So I hope you enjoyed this build. If you did, feel free to give it a like, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye!